Hey friends, you'll want to stick around for this episode. Today we're talking about Erie Dearies and why you should have Erie Dearies in your boat. Friends, it's summertime, and summertime on the Great Lakes means suspended walleye. And there's a lot of ways that you control and catch suspended walleye. But hands down, probably my favorite method of catching suspended walleye is pulling night crawlers. Now there's a number of ways that you can pull night crawlers for suspended walleye. And certainly one of the most efficient is crawler harnesses. Nobody's going to argue that crawler harnesses are a fantastic method of catching walleye. Hey, but one of my go-to baits for suspended walleye in the Great Lakes is the old Erie Dearie. I've been carrying Erie Dearies in my walleye tackle box for decades. And there are 3 reasons why I love Erie Dearies. And 3 reasons why you should have Erie Dearies in your boat. One of the things I love about Erie Dearie is the versatility of this bait. If you have fish located on a particular spot, Erie Dearies can be very efficiently used by casting them. When you're casting Erie Dearies, you'll want to have an assortment of sizes and colors, particularly the 3/8 and the 5/8 Erie Dearies are typically working well for casting. And you can use just about any rod reel combo you have. Drifting Erie Dearies can also be a very effective method of using Erie Dearies. Again, you'll want an assortment of sizes and colors, say 3/8 to 3/4. So we're fishing right in the channel. It's 32.5 feet deep. And these 3/4 ounce Erie Dearies are bouncing real nicely off the bottom. Drifting along at about 1.5 miles an hour. Fish too, bud. Could be a smallie though. Oh my gosh, could be a muskie. I am near or I'm not? Oh my goodness, that is a heavy one, pal. I'm trying. Pull and drag. A lot of drag. Oh boy. That's got to be a muskie. Yeah. That has to be a muskie. We're in trouble with that little net. Oh, there's the leader. I just seen a glimpse of him. Got a catfish. Be careful. That is a big cat. But hands down, my favorite method for using Erie Dearies is simply trolling them. And what we've noticed this summer is that you can mix Erie Dearies into your spread of crawler harnesses and troll them pretty much interchangeably with your crawler harnesses. So you can cast them, you can drift them, you control them. Second thing I love about Erie Dearies, the Erie Dearie does not discriminate. The Erie Dearie catches everything. I mean everything. Catfish love these things. Sheephead, perch, bass, pike, you name it. When you're dragging a live crawler on an Erie Dearie, there's no telling what you're going to catch. Now on some days that can be a nuisance. On other days that can salvage a tough fishing trip. If you've got kids in the boat, if you've got newer anglers in the boat and you just want to make sure that they get something tugging on the end of their line, it's hard to beat dragging a night crawler on an Erie Dearie. Hey, but I think maybe the most important reason why I love Erie Dearies, and maybe the most important reason why you should have Erie Dearies in your boat too, especially my small boat friends. Now you guys know that I fish a lot out of small boats. I fish a lot out of my Crestliner too. I got an 18-foot Crestliner Pro Tiller with plenty of room for 3 guys to walk around the cockpit. So I do have plenty of room in this boat. However, I also do a lot of trolling out of smaller boats. And the nice thing about fishing Erie Dearies out of a smaller boat is that it's a very efficient system. It's a very simple system. And I am a believer in the KISS method. The old keep it simple, stupid. I believe the KISS method is very, very effective much of the time. The more that you overcomplicate a system, the more room for error, the more difficult it is to master. So I'm a big fan of keeping things as simple as possible. Now, if you're going to be pulling crawler harnesses, you have to have a method of getting that crawler harness down to your depth. And there are plenty of good methods. You can use dipsy divers, you can use snap weights, you can use tadpoles. I love tadpoles. As I talked about in a previous video, you can use just some egg sinkers with a swivel and a bead. A lot of guys prefer the old inline weights. But whatever method you're going to use to get your crawler harnesses down to the suspended fish, it's just going to take multiple components. So you're going to have a lot of tackle on hand. You're going to have a system of keeping your crawler harnesses and keeping them organized. This is my system. I use cut up pieces of pool noodle in an open Plano box. You're going to have some method of weighting these down to the proper depth, which we just talked about. Your snap weights or your tadpoles or your bottom bouncers, whatever it just somewhat complicates the system. It's just not a super simple system. There's a little bit of complication to it. Where the Erie Dearie, on the other hand, you have a handful of Erie Dearies in a tackle tray, and that's pretty much it. That little tackle tray replaces all of my harnesses and all of my weights. So it really is a super efficient method. If you're fishing out of a small boat and storage space is at a premium, it's pretty handy to have a small tackle tray with everything you need. Hey guys, the equipment for pulling Erie Dearie is pretty much any rod you've got on hand. In my Erie Dearie box, I keep a handful of snap swivels, and literally you can tie that snap swivel. You can literally tie that snap swivel to the end of whatever rods you've got in the boat. Your favorite bait cast rod, your favorite spinning rod. If you're fishing with the kids, throw it on a spin cast for them. You can literally fish these things on just about anything. When you're going to troll a spread of Erie Dearies, it's no different than if you're trolling a spread of crawler harnesses. You're going to want some line counters. You're going to want some rods that have a little bit of parabolic bend to them. If you're casting Erie Dearies, literally you can cast them on anything. You take a 3/8 ounce Erie Dearie and cast it on a light action rod or a medium action rod. It really is super versatile, and you can use these things on just about any rod you've got in the boat. Hey friends, I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. I appreciate all your support. I appreciate you leaving those comments. I appreciate you guys smashing that like button. Hey, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to Team Jesus Outdoors. And hey guys, if you haven't already, go over and check out our other channel, TJO Men's Ministries. I'll leave a link here at the end of the video.